Hello, hello, hello.
Hi,
Welcome to Tuesday Talks with the Conways,
I'm Courtney.
and I'm Chris. We're glad to have you all here this week. It is been a beautiful weather.
Very beautiful.
Very,
Yesterday I was sweating even in just like a short sleeve dress. Today was windier, so it wasn't as, but yeah.
yes. Today we actually got to walk to go pick up our daughter from school,
hmm
so it was a delightful day. So glad to have you all here with us. Hi, Redina. Hi, Mom and Lydia, and all of our friends
Hello.
on Instagram. Glad to have you all here. We'll give everyone a chance to join before we go ahead and get started into our topic for the week. I hope you all have had beautiful weather where you're at too. You know, in Alabama, we tend to go from winter to summer to winter to summer to
hmm
winter to summer. So we're kind
Yeah.
of.
This is fake spring is what they call it.
Yes,
So,
yes, fake spring. So,
yeah.
hopefully, wherever you're at, you're getting slightly warmer weather or more comfortable
Yes.
weather. You know, it definitely can fluctuate. So, I know it was really cold here for a couple weeks. So,
Yes, like
glad to
when
have a
I
little
say
bit,
really cold or when he says really cold, like negative feels like temperatures.
which is very rare
Very rare for here.
for the South. So glad to have you all here. We are leading up to Valentine's Day.
Yes.
So, for those of you that celebrate.
But all I want for Valentine's Day is to go see Scream, and that's not out yet. So that's all I want.
So we're gonna go on a belated, like a late Valentine's Day
Mhm.
date, and go see the news. Is it Scream 7?
I think I
I
think
there's so
Scream
many of them.
something.
Hey Devin, glad to have you here on YouTube. Glad to have you joining us as usual this week. One of our usuals. All right, so I guess we've got quite a few people here. Let's go ahead and get started. And if Courtney, if you want to introduce our topic for the week.
Yes, tonight we're talking about understanding weight fluctuations because no matter how dedicated you are
Hmm.
on your journey, your weight is going to fluctuate, whether it's up or down. And sometimes it's just essential to understand why so you don't get too discouraged.
Absolutely. So there's a lot of things that can impact it, and some of you out there are daily weighers, and sometimes the fluctuations can get discouraging. Some of you don't
Yeah.
weigh every day because of that. I
hmm
have a tendency to get on the scale a couple times a week. Courtney is an everyday weigher for the most part. I tend to not care for the fluctuations too much, so I don't tend to get on. But it can definitely be frustrating because you can be on point with your activity and be on point with your eating and track everything in the healthy app and just be on point and go for those green dots that we talk about. And you do all that all week and you step on the scale and you're up 3 pounds.
Yep.
And then you have one small cheat meal and then you seem to be down a little bit. So it kind of
hmm
makes you think, is my body crazy? And it bodies kind of are
Bodies
a
are
little bit crazy.
definitely.
But there's just a lot that goes into it. So um and we've mentioned this before, that we've been going really hard and consistent. Consistency has been our key word for the year. The scale seems to be stubborn. But there are other reasons for that. And so, even though we are talking about this topic, it's a good reminder for
Mhm.
us, for our mental sanity and health, to understand that there are fluctuations and reasons sometimes scales might not move.
Yes, because like Chris said, I had moments where I am like on it. I'm on it. I'm on it. And either the scale doesn't move or it goes up. And I'm like, what is going on? But then there's times where I feel like I haven't tracked. I'm eating whatever I want. And the scale goes down. And I'm like, what is going on? So yes, it's definitely essential to know that bodies are weird
Hmm.
and bodies do what they want, whether you're eating healthy or not. And the key is to be consistent because eventually the scale is going to go in your favor.
Hmm.
Even if it looks like this,
Yep.
the down is going to get, further
Yep.
down.
So going up and down, you can still have the overall trend of
Mhm.
going down, and that's kind of where I am. I am still seeing that slow downward trend, but
Mhm.
it is kind of fluctuating. But it is very very normal. For your body to fluctuate between 2 and 5 pounds, in a day
Mhm.
is a lot. Can impact that. We'll go over some of the
Mhm.
specific reasons too.
Yes, and it's also essential to know if you are up on the scale, that does not mean you're up in fat. There
Hmm.
is a crazy amount of calories that you have to eat over your normal, like what you burn a day
Hmm.
to gain just 1 pound of fat. Um, but the scale doesn't see that. The scale does not see, oh, this is fat, this is muscle, this is water. Like it doesn't see that. it just sees the weight. So just because you're up, it does not mean you're up fat. You could be up water. You could be up, your muscles may be up. Also, some things people don't know is if you're working out a lot and you're sore, your muscles have water surrounding your muscles to
Mhm.
keep
You
them
retain
like,
you
yeah, so you
water
retain more
retention?
water
Yeah.
the sore you are after a workout.
Mhm.
So there are
Absolutely.
lots of things.
So a lot of things, and not only that, but there are some things that it takes your body longer to eat, or not process eat, but digest. So there's lots of things that you can take in consideration. We've talked about volume eating sometimes to help
Mhm.
get us more full. Sometimes you eat 2 pounds of watermelon that might not go through you right away either.
Yep.
Yes. Yes. Devin is talking about he gets on that scale every Sunday for him, and for him he was up a little bit on Sunday, and that's okay, and that just gives him encouragement. Sometimes seeing that scale go up, no matter
Mhm.
what the reason is, can give you a little bit of encouragement too,
Yes.
as long as you don't let it get you down.
Yes, absolutely. And that is one reason that I am a daily weigher because if I get on the scale today and I'm down 3 pounds, but tomorrow I'm up 2 pounds, um,
It comes out even the wash,
yeah.
and she understands. And if you go into it with the mindset
Mhm.
like, I lost, if she didn't get on the scale every day, she wouldn't have known she was down two
Yeah.
pounds or
But
3 pounds, and then now up 2 pounds. It's still a net of one loss.
yes, and then also it helps me know my body. Like I am a woman. We have tons of different hormonal things that go on throughout the month, and during those times I am bloated. There's probably a week throughout the whole month that I'm not bloated. And so just weighing daily just kind of helps me learn like, oh, I'm probably going to be bloated today, and it kind of helps me because if I got on the scale that day and was up, but the day before I was down, I wouldn't have known.
Hmm.
So it just kind of it helps me that. And some people it does not help, but it does help me.
Absolutely. So if you have that understanding, it definitely can
Mhm.
help your mindset. But another thing is, it's just your body is approximately 60% water.
Yeah.
So small hydration shifts can make big impacts on the scale.
Mhm.
Sometimes if you're really dehydrated and you drink and you're trying to catch up, your body will kind of retain that and hold on to it for a little bit. And so it takes a little while for you to, as you're getting that water
Mhm.
and you're getting rehydrated for it to kind of flush through the system. So in the meantime, you will be bloated. And if you're not hydrated as well, your body definitely will hold on to the water too.
Yes.
So that's a really key factor. Water fluctuates, and
Yes.
that's water does not equal fat unless you have one of those fancy scales, which we do have a scale that measures fat, but it's not as accurate as ones the doctors or at the gym. Unless you have one that measures the fat, the weight is just that, a number of weight.
Mhm. Yes, absolutely. And there, like you said, there are so many things that can cause water retention and for us to hold on to water. High sodium meals, you can go to a restaurant and eat something higher in sodium than you're used to, and
Hmm.
you can retain, I'm not even joking, 2 to 4 pounds overnight. If I go somewhere and have more salt, like if we make a soup that's full of like those cream of soups and different like beans and things, those things are full of sodium. So I
Hmm.
know when we make soup like chili or taco soup or whatever, I already know I'm going to be up the next day because not only beans bloat me, but all that salt.
Hmm.
So it also kind of helps you to know how your body works with different foods as well. But there's also things that people don't think about, like traveling sometimes causes you to fluctuate.
Hmm.
Stress, drinking alcohol because alcohol makes you dehydrated.
A lot, yeah.
There are so many different things. Lack of sleep can sometimes cause fluctuations. There are so many
And
different
there's some
things.
medicines will also impact water retention
Mhm.
or lack thereof. Sodium pills have a tendency to affect it, but body holds fluid to maintain electrolytes, and it
Mhm.
kind of keeps that balance. So it's kind of a big pendulum sometimes when it comes to your hydration. So it's
Yes.
important to know that even if you are on it and you're drinking your water, it can still fluctuate.
Yes, absolutely. And like he said, the sodium in your body, it does pull that water in to help you maintain a certain balance. So you do need some salt because that's going to help with the electrolyte. Salt is an electrolyte, but too much can cause you to bloat.
And another thing is carbs have a tendency to help cause your body to retain more water too.
But carbs are
Yes,
still fine.
yes,
Just like
yes,
sodium is fine,
yes,
carbs are still okay.
yes. We're in the mindset that carbs are not bad. A lot of carbs might be bad. A lot of sodium might be bad, but in general, we don't stay away
Mhm.
from anything in particular, although we do try to be more mindful of carbs and sodium. But carbs can cause you to retain water as well. So those of you that are on the Carb Smart and the keto friendly plans
Mhm.
might have a tendency to not retain as much water, but we love our carbs.
Yeah, absolutely. We do. But it is a known fact that carbs can make you bloat more. If you go on like a keto plan, you lose weight quickly because
To start off with.
yes, to start off with, because the higher the carbs, the more water. It's
So a
just
lot of the times when you're dropping those first couple pounds, and that's the case for any of us. Like if we kind of go off plan for a little while, and eat more than we should, this first couple of pounds come off really quick because a lot of it is, water weight and bloating, other types of
mhm.
things that are coming out of our system. So it doesn't necessarily mean that the plan that it's actual all fat.
Yes, my best friend, she does keto a lot, and when she's off plan, her face will like plump up, and she'll even say like, "I've got to get rid of my carb face," and apparently that's a real thing. But she bloats in her face when she has carbs, and you can tell, like you can physically see the difference after about a week of her back on track. Like her face has gone down so much. So like just parts of your body that you wouldn't think about sometimes do bloat, not just because of carbs, but because of other things as well.
Mhm. And just think of the food weight and digestion. Sometimes it can take 12 to 24 hours for you to digest something. So your weight that you're eating,
Mhm.
your weight, the weight that you weigh includes
Yes.
any of the food that you've eaten in the past 12 hours.
Yes. I can say this. Last week I had some issues, if you know what I'm saying. Um, couldn't go for like 3 days. I finally went, and the next day the scale dropped like literally 4 pounds overnight. I was
Mhm.
like, I lost 4 pounds overnight because I finally went. Like it was nothing I was doing wrong.
Mhm.
I just couldn't go.
Yep.
And once I finally did, it was like it was 4 pounds overnight. So if
Mhm.
you can't go, like if you're having issues with your digestion,
Mhm.
you probably will see the scale go up because
Mhm.
nothing is getting out. Because if you're ingesting, 3 pounds of food in a day, but it's not going anywhere. If you see where
It's
I'm
gonna
going,
it's gonna stay in there. So
yeah.
that's why it's important to understand your body and the digestive system. And sometimes we've mentioned this before, making sure you're getting enough fiber,
Fiber.
and then sometimes supplement. Courtney has a tendency to get stopped up if she doesn't have the fiber supplement. So we do phylum husk. Off-brand Metamucil, basically, and that definitely helps kind of
Mhm.
keep us regular.
Yes, and another thing that we've even noticed is like larger meals, and not just larger meals. If you eat later at night than
Hmm.
you're used to, your body's not used to having all that food in you that late, and so you might not have as much time to get it
Hmm.
out of you.
Oh yeah.
So eating later even, or eating a bigger meal the night before could cause the scale to be
Hmm.
up, even if
Absolutely.
even if what you ate was technically like within your calories, your bites, whatever. It can still be up the next day because you ate later or ate something bigger than you used to.
Absolutely. So if you normally eat your dinner around 5 or 6, and then for whatever reason, schedules happen, family happens, kids, all kinds of stuff. If you eat at 7 o'clock, the next day, odds are you're probably going to be up because your body hasn't had time to process as much of that dinner.
Yes. And then another thing that we kind of touched on briefly is inflammation because of working out and muscle repair. After a hard workout, your muscles develop literal micro tears. Like it
Hmm.
kind of freaks me out to think about.
Hmm.
But when it does that, your body sends fluid to repair the tissue. Which causes temporary inflammation. It's nothing bad. Like, don't think it's like awful to work out because you have these macro tears. That's kind of what muscles are supposed to do, but it's going to send the fluid. I always point to my arm for some reason, but wherever you're working out, it's going to send the fluid to those muscles to help repair them. So you might, for a day or two, have some temporary inflammation because just because you worked out.
Hmm. Joy mentioned she has a schedule. She tries to make sure she has her dinner before 6 p.m. So eating after that is a big no for her.
Hmm.
We don't have a super set schedule. We tried to eat around 6:30, but sometimes it doesn't happen
Hmm.
until like 7. But just understand that if you do eat later, that can likely affect your weigh in the next day.
Yes, but also with the working out, it does not happen immediately.
Hmm.
It can peak anywhere between 24 and 72 hours after workout. So if you worked out today,
Hmm.
you may not see the gain until your weigh in. What is today? Tuesday, Thursday, or even Saturday.
Hmm.
So don't freak out and be like, oh my goodness, I worked out like 4 days ago and now I'm up. No, like It's fine. Your muscles are probably just repairing themselves. And it doesn't just do it with strength training. Like your muscles are still working during other exercises.
Mhm,
So if you're sore, the chances are you've got some inflammation in your muscles somewhere because of the repairs, because of the workout you did.
mhm.
So it's kind of like your body just being like, hey, thank you. Now I'm going to go repair myself. So,
Mhm. Absolutely, and that's why getting your protein in is also really important,
mhm.
to make sure whenever we do, we our focus sometimes shifts between cardio and strength training and back and forth. Right now, it's cardio, but whenever we do strength training, we do try to emphasize making sure we have enough protein. So,
Yes. Yes. And then the next thing, which I also kind of touched on a little bit, is hormones. Um, while this does affect men, it probably honestly affects women more. That time of the month, you can literally fluctuate between 3 to 8 pounds. I know my body.
mhm,
I fluctuate about 5 pounds. The day before, all the way to day 2 or 3. Like I'm gonna be up those days, but not just something that I didn't think about until we started trying to conceive. I didn't realize you're also bloated when you're ovulating. So if you are a woman that ovulates, there's also going to be bloat that around that
mhm,
time as well. But not just then, but you lovely women, once you get older and don't have that time of the month, there's also going to be bloating because of menopause. So basically, women are just always bloating.
mm,
Basically, but for real, hormonal issues, and not just for women, men can have them too.
mhm,
But it can affect your hunger, your cravings, your digestion, your stress, your anxiety, everything.
mhm.
And it can cause some bloating because of multiple different reasons.
Absolutely. So keep that in mind, when you're getting on the scale.
Mhm.
And Joy, for her, because she goes to sleep so early. Why she doesn't eat after 6 p.m. is because she typically goes to bed a little
Mhm.
on the earlier side.
Yes. And then we talked about how it takes a lot of calories to gain a pound of fat. A pound of fat equals 3,500 calories.
Hmm.
So if you burn in a normal day, say you burn 1,500 calories, you would have to eat 5,000, and it's not impossible, but you would have to eat 5,000 calories over. Well,
Hmm.
not over, but 3,500 over. So 5,000 calories just to gain a pound of weight. So if you get on the scale and you're up 3 pounds, there is no way you ate 12,000 calories yesterday. So just to kind of put it in perspective for you a little bit.
Yeah, we have a little kind of a not quite a diagram or example, but let's say you're up 3 pounds. That would be 10,500 calorie surplus in addition to what you
Mhm.
normally
So
normally
not
eat.
just the 10,500 calories, but also what you burn that day as well.
Yes. So if you ate 4 pizzas, had a dessert, multiple sugary drinks, and more, maybe you could have gained three
I mean, there's
pounds.
some meals out there that's like 4,000 calories. So
Yes,
I
but
don't
it would
know.
have to be a lot. We mentioned you didn't gain all this weight overnight, so you will not gain that much fat after one meal.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
that's
And
definitely
you
something to
also
keep in
will
mind.
probably not lose that much overnight as well.
Hmm.
So if you lost 3 or 4 pounds overnight, it's also probably not fat, or
Hmm.
it is not fat. You would have had to like work out a ton
Hmm.
to lose 3 or 4 pounds of fat.
So I think I was watching a video once that I said you had to do like 12 hours of
Mhm.
cardio to burn one pound of fat. So would be a lot of cardio in one day. So technically possible in 12 hours, but I don't know if I could physically spend, well,
Mhm.
one, I don't I wouldn't survive 12 hours of cardio, but two, I've got a job. So there's a lot of
Mhm.
stuff that I wouldn't have time for that.
Yes. And then just some things that like can cause just issues with fluctuations and things. We mentioned some people just cannot weigh daily.
Hmm.
It causes anxiety. Like, one day you're down and you're just like, woo! The next day you're up and you're like, so it can cause anxiety. And then letting one number just ruin
Hmm.
everything. The all or nothing mindset. Like just being like, oh, I'm up 2 pounds. Just forget it. My diet's ruined
Hmm.
or my journey's ruined. I'm done. So just don't let the scale dictate whether or not you're going to do well that day or not.
Hmm.
I've been there. I've been there where I've been down and I'm just like, I am working or been up. I'm like, I'm working so hard and I'm still up. I give up. I'm done. And then I regretted it. So you will definitely regret it.
Mm. That's why I mentioned, earlier in this year when we've been focusing on consistency and not seeing the scale move. I'm determined to keep that consistency and not give that up.
Mhm. And then this quote that I just really liked, your weight is not it is data, it is not a grade.
Mhm.
It does not determine how well you did on your journey. It's just data. That's all it is. It is there for data for you to see the fluctuations. That is all that it is.
Mhm. Absolutely.
Yes.
So there are better ways to kind of track your progress. We mentioned looking at non-scale victories,
Mhm.
looking at other things. I've been able to consistently do 45 minutes to an hour on the elliptical, and I've never been able to do that before.
Yeah.
And I've been able to do that multiple times in a week. So look at things like that,
Mhm.
energy levels, and the way food, clothes like this
Yeah.
shirt.
It's a dress on him.
Courtney said that it looked like a dress on me, and this is one of my favorite shirts because
He will never give this
it
one
says
up.
"Sore today, stronger tomorrow."
He's never giving this shirt up.
No, I could be a stick and I would still wear this just because it's my favorite shirt. But use things like that
Mhm.
to help actually grade your progress,
Yes.
not the weight.
And also, if you are a daily wearer, it also might be a good idea to get like an average for the week.
Mhm.
Like instead of saying I was up 5 pounds, down two, you were down to 2.5 pounds. Like, so just getting an average for the week instead of just that might really help as well.
Mhm. Yeah, I know when I track my weight and I look at because we have iPhones and my phone Apple Health, I can look at the 6 month data and it tells me my average for the
Mhm.
month, and then I can track that month over month and get my average.
Yeah.
And as long as that average is trending down, that's really ultimately
Mhm.
the biggest measure of success.
Yes, and then also one more thing to remember is do not forget about progress photos. They are going to tell it all. And then
Mhm.
also you might need to get someone to tell you if there's actually a difference because I am so bad about looking at my transformation pictures and being like, Chris, is there a difference?
Sometimes I want to ring her next. She's like, is there a difference in this photo? And I'm like, yes, there's a
Yeah.
lot of difference. So show someone else and get their opinion on your progress, but also do measurements.
Mhm.
Joy is a really big proponent for getting those measurements. She tracks her measurements so she can know if the weight hasn't gone anywhere. Those measurements are going to
Yeah.
show a significant difference there too.
Absolutely.
So yes, we kind of lost track. Oh, belt notches. I don't have a belt that has notches anymore, but I used to, and I'm like, man,
Mhm.
I'm having to use the tightest notch on my belt, just the way the clothes fit you, other types of things. So there's a lot of different things, but also do a monthly comparison. I mean, you take a photo of yourself every month and compare those, and those are also really
Mhm.
good ways to track your success. The scale is not, like she mentioned in that quote, not your grade. It's just data. All these other things are going to be
Mhm.
really big impactors.
Yeah.
And I've mentioned before, if I never lose another pound, I'm getting healthy. My heart is healthy because I'm getting cardio. My muscles are healthy because I'm doing strength training. So even if didn't lose
Uh-huh.
another pound, I'm a lot healthier than I was. Um, I even say this: I was skinnier in college than I am now, but I'm healthier now
Mhm.
than I was in college because I could never do this cardio that I did in college, even though I weighed less.
Yeah, I'm actually about 30 or 40 pounds more than I weighed when I met Chris. Excuse me. But I'm 2 sizes smaller.
Hmm.
Like my body is smaller and I'm so much healthier, even though I was 40 pounds less when I met him. So the scale does not show the whole story.
No, not at all.
Okay. So now, this week for our recipe, I did a breakfast casserole that I really
Mm.
like.
We love breakfast, and we
Um,
sometimes even have this for dinner.
yes, but it's delicious and it's got a decent amount of protein. So
All right, let's share the recipe. Go ahead.
yes, this is a breakfast, just breakfast casserole. You need a pound of mini tater tots. That's about, I think, about half of a normal bag. The mini tater tots kind of let it go further though, if you're able to find those. Sometimes they're kind of harder to find the mini ones. Um, but 6 ounces of Canadian bacon or any breakfast meat that you like. I just really like Canadian bacon, but sausage would be good too. An onion, 8 large eggs, a cup of shredded cheese, fat-free or whatever kind you like, and then a cup of fat-free plain Greek yogurt. Preheat the oven to 350. Add the eggs and Greek yogurt to a mixing bowl and mix well. Slice up your Canadian bacon and add that in. I don't see the onion there. Also slice up your onion and put that in there too. And then add oh, that's what it says. Add all remaining ingredients to the egg mixture. That's where the onion comes into play. Um, Add that to a greased 9 by 13 baking dish and cook for 40-ish minutes. and then enjoy. This makes 6 servings, and they're pretty big size servings.
So you could have a smaller portion if you wanted to.
But this is between some of the plans, it's pretty high in bites. That's why we said you can also have smaller ones if you want to. But between 6 and 10 bites, 346 calories, 21.2 net carbs, and 25.2 grams of protein.
If you wanted to, you could half these portions if you're light on the bites for us, because we're still a little on the heavier side. We get more bites.
Mm,
But if you're like Joy and you're closer to your goal weight, you have less bites to play with. You could half this and add some fruit.
yeah.
Add some zero bite fruit foods in there to make sure that you're getting full. So you could
Mhm.
definitely do half portions for this.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. So that is our recipe for this week. If you'd like that, let us know. It will be posted on Healthy's Facebook and Instagram page, but also on the Healthy app website,
Yes.
which is they have a blog on there with a lot of yummy recipes posted by us as well as other coaches on the Healthy Plan.
Yes, and we have some really good topics in mind. We have a whole list. So, but with that, if there's anything you ever want to talk about or anything, just let us know.
Mhm.
Because we want to talk about what you guys want to hear about.
Absolutely. And if you want to catch any of our past episodes, the videos are going to be on YouTube as well as the audio version. So if you need a podcast to listen to on the way to work or when you're at the gym, feel free to check out this podcast on Apple Podcasts or Spotify Podcasts. And there's also some podcasts from other coaches on the Healthy
Mhm.
program that have some amazing content. So feel free to give those a listen. But we thank you so much for joining us this week, and I hope you have a wonderful time. And we'll see you next week.
Yes.
Next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.